Good morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. We're off to Germany, let's go.
We're off to Mannheim in Germany today for Guitar Summit, which is Europe's biggest guitar show. We're aiming to learn as much as we can about this show to see what we can bring over to the UK to make our shows extra special next year. First up, we're headed to Folkestone for the Eurotunnel crossing. Then we're going to Dunkirk, Bruges and then Germany. Here we are at the tunnel. This is a really easy way to get across to mainland Europe. The crossing only takes about 35 minutes and it starts off about £70 each way. It's a bit of a squeeze into the carriage, but everything went nice and smoothly and we arrived in Calais in no time. Jumping back on the road, we made our way to Dunkirk, where we made a quick stop for lunch and visited a wartime museum and had a sombering stroll along the beach. After that, we jumped back in the car, headed to our next stop, Bruges. We had a little stroll around the city, stopped for some lunch and decided to climb the Belfort, which is 83 metres tall and dates all the way back to the 13th century. On the way up the 366 stairs, we see the world's largest musical roll, I can't quite remember what it was called, which controls the ringing of the bells. It's kind of like a giant musical box, which is pretty epic on the scale that it is. After a rather treacherous journey back down the 366 stairs, we jumped back in the car and hot-footed it across Germany into Mannheim for the night.
Hello folks, we're at Mannheim in Germany for Guitar Summit. It's amazing, it's absolutely huge. So we're going to take you for a brief walk around, see what we can get seen. Strap yourselves in because this is a big one. So we're going to start on the top floor, the acoustic hall first. And we're going to keep going down each floor. There's 4 layers to go down. I'm going to try not to fall off this escalator.
First thing that struck me about this show was the quality of the stands. Now, bearing in mind, when you do a show like this, it's just a pop-up on the floor. You get floor space, and all of these stands that you see erected are just purely for this show. So it's almost like each company brought a mini shop to the show. So there were some amazing stands out there. Apologies for the voiceover on this, but we tried a new camera system out and the microphone didn't work. So unfortunately the audio is a bit poor on this, but we're going to crack on with the voiceover. So this is the main acoustic floor. As you can see, it's right at the top of the building. We've just been up several escalators and there are some stunning instruments on show here. We've got Takamine or Takamine, depending on how you like to pronounce it. We've got Ortega guitars there, doing a ukulele course, I believe. Oddly enough, this was actually the noisiest floor because Mannheim is a silent show, which was a concept I was a bit unsure about until I went and experienced it for myself, and I found it amazing. The experience was fantastic. Much like these rather pretty little thin line Taylor T5 inspired guitars. Pretty cool. It's really nice at a silent show to be able to talk to the exhibitors and really listen to people. So everything in the electric rooms is headphones only, which actually makes it a much quieter experience than it is on the acoustic floor, because acoustic instruments, well, they're acoustic, so you can't turn them off. Here's a Loudon stand, a particular favourite of mine.
And then we've got the other electric GL10 as well, which I'm a fan of.
Massive fan of the 2 Loudon electrics in their new series, the GLJ, which is the ES335 kind of looking thing, and then the GL10, which was the solid body Les Paul inspired. Taylor was one of my favourite stands here. I thought their stand looked absolutely fantastic. They brought their own floor, they brought everything to really make their instruments pop. I thought it was a great look. I'm just going to go to Auden guitars, which are all the way from Northamptonshire, I believe.
Absolutely.
Really nice guitars.
Really impressed with this. Lovely sound. Very nice. Don't quote me, but I think it's coming at about 1,800 quid, which is phenomenal. That sort of build is stunning. So must make an effort to check out more Auden guitars in the future.
I did spend a little bit of time playing that one off camera, which was really fun. One of the other things I was surprised to see was the level of wood on show. There was quite a lot of tone wood suppliers from all over the world, Switzerland, Spain, all sorts of interesting wood ready to be turned into guitars. I've got a habit of buying nice wood, but I'm always too busy to turn it into a guitar and I'm not technically talented enough to turn it into a guitar, so I'm kind of restraining myself here and not getting dug into buying two pretty pieces of wood that I actually want to make into guitars. That will never happen. Moving on, we've got another hall here. To the right was Guild Guitars, which had some nice acoustics and electrics on site. Quite pretty looking stuff. Creation there. It's rather lovely. Even Stumac from America were represented here with lots of tools and a selection of tone wood on offer. I did bump into my guitar hero Paul Davids on that little stand at one point, but we didn't manage to catch him on camera. Now, this is a really interesting concept that I'm really excited to potentially bring back to the UK after seeing it work so well. So, the audio you can hear is Mike Dawes giving an acoustic demo there. Now, all you hear is the sound of the strings from the stage and the voice unmiked. The way to listen to these concerts, as you can probably guess, is via these wireless headphones which are just stuck on the side of the stage. Now, this was fantastic because all the exhibitors in this room could still talk to people and chat when there was live music on, and anybody who wanted to listen to the live music got a crystal clear, straight from the desk, view of what was going on, basically. So it was really special, and the headphones were quite comfortable too, so keep your eyes peeled. This might be something we bring to the UK with Great British Guitar Shows. I really enjoyed the concept. Got more tone wood suppliers on the left hand side here, some interesting bodies. I particularly like the Ibanez Iceman, I think it's called, hiding away in the back. That was a pretty looking thing. You can just about make it out. There we go. Moving on, these were particularly pretty. I loved this headstock design. This was all different species of wood, and on the rosette there as well. Beautiful looking guitars. Now, as you can see, Mannheim is a feast for the eyes. Every direction you look, your eyes are dragged from item to item of beauty. There's some stunning instruments out there, really cool designs, and it was a massive pleasure being able to go over there this year. Our first time this year, and it definitely won't be our last. I've already booked the hotel for next year. Limelight Gallery had some stunning photos and original artwork on display there. There's another ukulele workshop going on at Ortega Guitars. That seemed quite popular. Now, we almost forgot, but there was a whole extra hall on this floor. The show is so vast, you never quite know where you're going. So we've got another tone wood supplier here on the left, giving us a little wave. Now, we had lots of interesting instruments in here. We had some fretless jazz guitars, gypsy jazz style guitars, as being demonstrated on the right. SP custom guitars. That fella seems to have lost his headstock. Guitars everywhere, just what I like to see. Now, on the right hand side here, just out of camera, we had a company making all aluminium bodied electric guitars. They were really busy when we did this walk around, but I did get a go at one the day before, and the sustain was phenomenal. These things felt amazing in your hands. It's one to watch, aluminium guitars for the future, I think. Now, as well as guitars, there was a whole range of tools on offer. There was a lot of factories there showing off hardware that they could build, engineering firms selling stuff. There was loads of stuff, so it was a really one-stop shop for anything guitar related. Lots of deals were being made behind the scenes, and lots of new distributors being found. So it's quite an exciting atmosphere in there as well. Everyone was very friendly and wanting to talk to you as well.
This is the boutique guitars level, so there's some phenomenal instruments on this floor. It's really something else. First up is Deja Vu guitar. He also has a really handy website which showcases all of the guitar shows in Europe and beyond. It's a really good source of information.
I really like the guitars on display at Deja Vu guitars, including this Telecaster that was being built. Now this had a Bucksmatched top and back, so they're all off the same block of wood. Everything was stunning on these things, including the price, of course. Small price to pay for such a nice instrument. Now this floor featured lots of independent luthiers, which is something I have a real interest in. The stuff you can see on camera now was the guitar division, as I can just read off that guy's t-shirt. And these guys, I think, were from France, and they were kind of like a team of different companies that had cobbled together to exhibit, and they had their own website with lots and lots of cool, interesting, out there guitar designs, accessories, amplifiers. You can pretty much find it all on there, so that was quite interesting to see these guys. I did drop by and play quite a few of their guitars. We also had Steely Jam making some interesting things here as well, including the guitar you can see spinning at the back, which actually has a marble top on it. Aluminium body, marble top, which is quite out there, but super cool. It's great to see the forward-thinking guitar builders out there and using different materials and different ideas. This bass you can see spinning, I was a massive fan of. It was absolutely flawless, and I did notice there was no tuning holes at the top, because it's actually, the tuning is controlled on the bridge. But I like the fact that they left the headstock on there, so it still looked like a normal guitar. I'm not really a fan of headless guitars, but that was a stunner, that one. That caught my eye, and many people's eyes at the show. We got Patrick James Eggles' stand. He was kicking about the show, legendary British luthier. And towards the end of this row, we had Daniel from, I'm probably going to say this wrong, but Uniquendo Guitars, and I'm a massive fan of his channel on YouTube. It was nice to see his guitars in the flesh. I believe he's based in the Netherlands, and he has on his YouTube channel he has a funky little shed at the bottom of his garden where he builds all his guitars and does lots of tuition videos and things like that. So we had a good chat off camera, and hopefully we might be able to coax him across to the UK for some shows over in the UK as well. This bass was a pretty little thing. I was first tipped by the resin body, and then I noticed the fretboard, which was even cooler. Really unique piece there. Now we're just going into my favourite room of the show now. This hall was amazing. I think they saved this for the very best. So we had Pageli Guitar Vision. Really talented luthier and guitar designers, I guess. This particular spinning guitar was probably my favourite guitar of the show, based on a customer's vision of his yacht. So it looks like kind of one of those sort of classic wooden topped yachts. Every time you looked at this guitar you'd notice a different little appointment in there, so it was super special. Some rather loud guitars coming up here. Again, the build quality on these and the design of some of these guitars was amazing, something you just don't see every day, so really impressed to see these. The detail you get when you see that in the flesh as well is stunning. The design continued all the way up the fretboard. It looks like something that Prince would be seen on stage with, which is not a bad thing. This was a stunner in the flesh. It's kind of blinding our camera a little bit. So we'll continue on walking through, looking at some absolute stunning creations here. This room was the pinnacle of current guitar design, I believe, and there were some fantastic companies showing off their stuff in stunning surroundings. I mean, the surroundings were equally as stunning. The place is beautiful. It was such a pleasure to be in such a nice room, looking at such nice guitars. So if you're enjoying this little walk around video of Guitar Summit, we're from Great British Guitar Shows, and we've got 4 shows coming to the UK next year, in Oxfordshire, Leicestershire, Wiltshire, and we're doing a Welsh guitar show as well in October 2026. So get over to our website and sign up to our mailing list to find out for more information. The website is www.greatbritishguitarshows.co.uk, and if you just scroll at the bottom of the homepage, you'll see our sign up for our newsletter. You'll be notified every time a new video comes out, and you'll also be notified of all the kept up to date from all the happenings at our shows as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what your favourite guitar is in this room, because there's some absolute corkers. I'll be interested. So yeah, drop us a comment, drop us a subscribe. It's a brand new channel, so we're just trying to get it off the ground. So I appreciate you guys watching it. Headstocks were super pretty on these. And the top sound hole, so the player gets a better impression of the sound that's coming out of the guitar. We've got Ted guitars over in the corner there, from France. You can just see them in the background, all aluminium bodies. I was quite impressed with these guys' guitars as well.
Or acoustic bass guitar, doesn't it work?
And this is the TRF cable. This
Just about sums up our
So just on the low floors now, we've got Hofner over here. This is where all the larger brands in the guitar world were situated, so we've got lots of cool stuff, all showing off their new wares. Hofner seem to be making a bit of a resurgence, not just with their violin bass. They had a good range of electric and acoustic guitars on their stand as well. It's quite interesting, so look out for them. Now this stand up on the left hand side was one of my favourites at the show. I really liked the effort they'd went to design this stand, and it looked mega in the flesh. It looked real moody and really fit the sort of style of guitars they were selling as well. There's a lot of shows in the UK that a lot of companies exhibiting at shows in the UK that can really learn from some of the stands you'll see on this floor. Chuck Life, Harry Bent. Me and Peter were just chatting that these were the first Fenders and Gibsons we'd seen at the whole weekend, which was quite a welcome break, because usually all you see is Fenders and Gibsons. We've got PRS with a very small stand there. Now, just coming up on the left with these amp baffle things, we didn't get a chance to speak to the chap on the stand, but from the picture behind, you stick them in front of the speaker on your cab, and I'm assuming it either dampens the sound or gives you a more of a spread from your speaker, perhaps. I'm not quite sure, but might look into those and find out more about that. I really like these display cases. I actually walked straight past these, and then when I got past them, I realised that they were actually 4x12 cabs that had been converted into display cabinets, which I thought was a really cool touch.
Front's cut there. Looks really cool. From the front, it just looks like a normal sort of display cabinet, and then on the side, it's really nice touch.
Mighty Vox on the left hand side. Around the corner was Ashdown, showing Geezer Butler range, and did a load of amplifiers for the last Black Sabbath gigs. This is where the stands start to get silly expensive and very flash. So these were like top quality shops. Echo and Fishman. I've all seen an Echo Ranger before somewhere, in someone's loft somewhere.
My dad's got that guitar.
Dunlop stand was always packed. They had a giant plectrum which seemed to be going down well with the punters. I think he could enter a competition to win that. Heritage and Harmony. I'm a big fan of Harmony guitars, sort of Les Paul Les Paul type guitars. They're really pretty. I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. Stand was a little bit busy when we went past, so we didn't stop. Again, you can't comprehend that these stands just pop up for the 3-day show, so these are all erected. This is just an empty hall when the show starts. And we've got Martin on the right hand side. I saw John Mayer in Paris a couple of years ago, I think, on his solo tour, and he played this double neck Martin that was on display. It was a bit of a bargain at 12 grand, I think it was. And while we're on the subject of John Mayer, you can also see just behind my head is his Silver Burst signature model as well, which is actually a really cool looking guitar in the flesh. Coming around the corner, just in front of me on the left hand side, you can see Yamaha's stand. This was a massive stand. They had loads of stuff on offer and tons of Rev Stars, and it was great to see British guitarist Chris Buck right centre stage on the back. I believe Chris was there doing some demos and sign-ins and things throughout the weekend as well. We saw him with Cardinal Black on the Friday evening. We've got Black Star amplification there. My first proper amp was a Black Star. It was cracking. Here's the Duesenberg stand. This was one of my top 10 stands of the show. There's some absolutely stunning gear on hand, including these. The two hot pink ones you could see there were Joey and Dave Lambert's models next to a Johnny Depp model. These draw our attention quite a lot throughout the show as well. This is Codex Audio, I believe. I'll come on screen in a second. These were really pretty instruments. My favourite piece of merch on the whole show was some popcorn. Can't beat some popcorn to keep people happy. And we got the Marshall stand. All sorts of cool stuff from Dutch here. We were really impressed with, probably pronounced this wrong, but Bauer guitars. These guys seem to hammer you on Instagram every time you go on with good deals on their instruments. But actually, Baum guitars, from Denmark, and we were really impressed with those acoustics they had. They were about €1,500, but played and sounded like they were a lot more expensive than that. So they were very pretty, along with the stunning range of electric guitars and basses they have. They seem to have it all. And Peter had a good go and play on a few of their guitars and basses over the weekend, and yeah, he said they were pretty darn good. We've got Aria here on the stand. We were particular fans of these kind of mini basses, the back pocket basses I like to call it. You'd almost squeeze this thing in your back pocket and just whip it out on demand. It's quite cool.
All the time.
Alright, one of our final rooms now, so we've got cathedral amps, we've got some cool cabinets.
Really nice cabinet.
Novo guitars as well. We're both a big fan of these. I didn't actually get a chance to play one of these, which is a bit of a bucket list thing, but they are so pretty, their guitars, including the guitar you're about to see in just a second, which is kind of a Antigua-based guitar, kind of based on the Fenders from the 70s. A real Marmite colour scheme, but I really loved it.
Cool guitar.
Got another live stage going on there, so you just grab your headphones and listen into the talks. This was another stand I was quite impressed with, from Moser guitars and Mozia guitars. I like the way they were just in flat cases on the tabletop. I thought it looked really effective. Really cool looking stand. Just quite creative. Stand's guitar picks from the UK. All manner of funky effects over there. And this beautiful Steve McQueen inspired guitar. I'm quite a fan of that. We like our car racing to me and Peter, so. Pretty little thing. So as we go around this corner, we've got PJD guitars from the UK as well. Always hearing good things about these guys, but the stand was a little bit packed, so we didn't stop for a play. We're a big fan of the Guitar Summit stand as well. Quite simple, just a pallet wall with some TVs, but it looked really effective in the flesh. Really well done. Speaking of well done, Gordon Smith's stand was stunning. He was very well dressed with these twin Marshall tweed cabs. I had one on either side with a Gordon Smith guitar draped over it, which looked cool as hell, I'm not going to lie. I was quite impressed by that. Great to see the UK firm flying the flag over there in Germany. Those Marshalls look so good in tweed. So this room was super cool. As I said earlier, this is a silent show, or mostly silent show. Apart from this room, where they'd wired together, I think it was 40 different amp heads and 40 cabs, and you could switch between any camp and any any cab and any head combination, and of course you're allowed to move some air in this room, so this is pretty impressive. Really cool sort of feel to it as well. The room felt like an old wine cellar. There's lots of noise going on here. Back on the main floor again, and to our right we have Zilla cabs and the mighty Stonehenge. Such a cool amp. 2 Marshall stacks, 2 8x12s, mega. Yeah, we're going to try and borrow that for a photo shoot with Great British Guitar Shows. So we're coming up to the end of the tour now. We cut this down to a half-hour sort of tour video, but it actually took us about 2 hours to walk around the whole venue. So the sheer scale of Guitar Summit in Mannheim is epic.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed this little video, subscribe, give us a like, tell us what your favourite guitar is in the comments. You can find more information about what we're going to be doing in the UK at www.greatbritishguitarshows.co.uk. You see all our 2026 guitar shows there. If you want to become a part of it, just get in touch, info@greatbritishguitarshows. I hope you enjoyed this video of Guitar Summit. See you next time, guys.
And that just about concludes our trip to Guitar Summit. Me and Peter had an absolute whale of a time. The whole weekend was over in a flash, but we had so much time meeting so many cool people, watching some live gigs and talking about guitars all weekend. On the way back we went through Luxembourg, Belgium, France, and then back home to Oxfordshire, which was a nice easy trip. Summing up about 1,200 miles I think we covered overall in the journey. Luxembourg was absolutely stunning, really loved it there, I'd definitely go back again. It was the cleanest city I think I've ever been to. Final thing, don't forget to subscribe, head over to greatbritishguitarshows.co.uk and join our mailing list as well.